All right, Deansy, so we've locked in the first 5 games of the pre-season against local opposition. How important are these games in terms of getting some early match fitness under the belt for the boys?
Yeah, match fitness is important as far as the games go, and just breaking up the amount of training that we're doing to fill in the off-season. It's a pretty long off-season in the A-League, so the sooner we can get some games in there, the better.
Obviously, you've started with a pretty heavy training workload. The boys are going to be under fatigue for these games?
Yeah, especially the first 2. It's a good way of getting them to be under a bit of pressure in the game. If we can train them hard leading up to the game, and then get some of them will be 30 minutes, some of them will be 60 minutes for each of the players. But just the opportunity to play a game together as well is important. Probably the first 2 games are good for our guys to get a bit of fitness, but it's also good for the teams we're playing to give them a chance to play against full-time footballers and test themselves, and good for their clubs as well for a bit of exposure to the A-League. And I think publicity-wise, it's a really good opportunity for the local clubs too.
At this stage of the pre-season, how much of it is about conditioning, and how much of it is looking at a system and playing, like the way you guys want to play and that sort of thing?
Yeah, look, the conditioning aspect of it's pretty important at this stage. It gives them a chance to use the ball and get fit rather than sand dunes and hills and whatever else has been done in the past. So fitness-wise, it's really important, and then obviously just to look at some different options as far as formations go. We can experiment a little bit, and it's got plenty of purpose.
You mentioned the opportunity to experiment with different systems and formations. Having only sort of one fully recognised centre back in Taylor Regan, would that maybe change things up a little bit, maybe a back 3 or something like that?
Yeah, again, that's the point of these games, is to look at different formations and see if we have a little bit more flexibility with how we're able to play from game to game and adjust when necessary in the middle of a game. So yeah, look, we've got Taylor at the moment, and Scott Neville and Sam Galloway can also play as centre back. So it's really good. It's a good opportunity to experiment.
Obviously, you've also got quite a few away with the young Socceroos and a few boys injured as well. How do you sort of integrate them all back into pre-season to make sure they're all ready to go come round 1?
The physios and the medical staff have been pretty diligent with their monitoring of all the injured players and how we introduce them back to full-time training. So until the boys get back from the World Cup and the Josh Mitchells, Ben Kennedys, Mitchell Coopers come back to full fitness, we have to just manage it best we can. But fortunately, we've got the young boys that are playing in the local competition. So we've got another 25 players there that we can use as we need them, and it's a good experience for those young kids to come into the full-time environment and mix with the A-League squad.